Hey everyone, welcome back to our programming series. Today we will solve another LeetCode problem, which is single number. So what exactly is the single number problem? Well, imagine you have an array of integers where every element appears twice except for one. Your task is to find that single element that appears only once. Let's see how we can tackle it. We will use a hash set and we will iterate through the array, adding each number to the set if it is not already present and removing if it is. At the end, the set will contain only the single number that appears once. Now let's dive into the code. We have a function with name single number. This line defines a function named single number that takes a list of integers as input and returns an integer. Next, we will declare a hash set that will keep track of unique numbers. Let's declare a set of type int. Set is equal to set. So we have initialized a set. Next, we will start a loop that will iterate over each number num in the input list. For int num in nums. Nums is the list of integer. We will iterate over nums. Next, we will check here if the set already contains the current number. If it does, remove from the list, otherwise add num to the list. If set dot contains num, then we will remove from the list or set remove num. Next, if the number is not in the set, then we will add that in the set. Else set dot add number. Okay. With this if condition, I have checked if the set already contains the number. If it does, we will remove number from the list from the set. Otherwise, we will add to the set. Next, we will return the number that is still present in the set. Return set dot first. This line returns the single number found in the set. Let's run the code. Here I forget to put semicolon. Let's run the code. Okay, our case 1 is accepted, case 2 is also accepted, and case 3 is also accepted. Let's submit the code. And there you have it. We have successfully solved the single number problem in Dart. You can use XOR operator. Next, we will discuss another approach to solve the same problem by using XOR operator or exclusive OR operator. The exclusive OR operator provides a more elegant and efficient solution compared to using a hash set for the single number problem. Here is why. First of all, it takes a constant space. Using XOR, we can achieve a solution with constant extra space, which means we do not need to allocate additional memory proportion to the size of the input array. This is crucial for optimizing space complexity, especially for large arrays. And in our case, we do not want to occupy extra space. So next, linear runtime complexity. The XOR operator allows us to find the single number in linear time complexity, which is O of n, where n is the number of elements in the array. This makes it highly efficient, especially for large data sets. Let's see how the XOR operator works. The XOR operator is a bitwise operator that compares two bits and returns 1 if they are different and 0 if they are same. If we consider an example, This is a 1 bit and this is 1 bit. The result will be 0 if we perform an XOR operation between them. If the bits are different, it returns 1, and the same in this case, the bits are different, so it will return 1. Here bits are same, so it will return 0. Next, for solving this problem, what is happening in the background? Okay, for that I will consider a table which will be decimal binary table. You know that decimals in binary changes from 0 to 7, means they are total of 8, which is also 2 raised to power 3 is equal to 8. So this is a decimal binary table. This is the representation of 0 in decimal with 3 zeros, and the decimal representation of 1 is this. So this is basic decimal binary table. Next we want to perform XOR operation and see how the so let's see how we can find the number that has only occurred single or one time. Let's consider an example. If we take 2 to 1, what will be our approach? First we will use a variable which will be of let's name it result. Okay, then we will XOR it with the input from this array. First of all, it will be performed by 1. Its result will be stored in our result variable. Next we will also do the same, but here will be the next element, which is 2. Okay, which is 2. Let's see how it happens. If we consider an example over here, first we have 2. What is the decimal representation of 2? You can see the decimal representation of 2 is 0, 1, 0. So we will write 0, 1, 0. Next, in the result, first of all, there is nothing. I have initialized result variable with 0. So if we take the decimal representation of 0 is 000, you can see over here. This is the okay. So if we take 0, 0, 0, next we have to perform XOR operation. If we look back in the table, if the bits are same, it returns 0, and if the bits are different, it returns 1. So let's perform this XOR operation. If the bits are same, it returns 0. If the bits are different, it returns 1. So if the bits are same, it returns 0. So 0, 1, 0 is equal to this one 2. So in result variable, 2 will be stored. 2 will be stored in result variable. Okay. Next time, when we perform XOR operation between the result variable and our next element is also 2. Let's see how we can do that. We have a decimal representation of 2, 0, 1, 0, and the decimal representation of 2 is 0, 1, 0. So if the bits are same, what it returns 0. If the bits are same, it returns 0. Also if the bits are same, it returns 0. So it results in the 0. Okay, next. Now 0 will be stored in the result variable. Next, so our last element is remaining 1. Let's do that also. Okay, if we perform XOR operation between 0 and 1, the decimal representation of 0 is 000, and the decimal representation of 1 is 001. Let's perform a XOR operation between them. 0, 0, 0 and 0, 0, 1. If the bits are different, it returns 1, and same, it will return 0. Let's see what is the it is equal to 1. So if we go back to in the list, and our task was to find the number that is only occurred once, so we have 1 remaining in the list. I hope that is clear to you. Let's consider an example, which is this one. It is 0, it is 1. So in the result variable, what we have 0, and we want to perform an operation with this. Let's solve this. So it will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. If we perform a XOR operation between them, it will result in 0, 0, 1, which is again equal to 1. So 1 is the unique number in our result variable, and this will be stored. So this is the basic approach we will be using in our code. So let's go into the code section and write some code. Here I will comment this out because this approach uses extra space, but we only have to use constant extra space. Let's comment this out. Next, I will define a variable result which is equal to 0. Same like that, I have taken a variable while explaining the XOR operation. Why will be using that operation? Okay, next I will declare a loop that will iterate on the nums list, which is in this case this. So I will take for int num in nums bracket. This basically starts a loop that iterates over each number num in the input list nums. Next I will perform the XOR operation. Result is equal to result. In programming, we have a operator like this that basically represents the XOR operation. We have to perform the XOR operation between the result variable and the num that will be the elements from a list. So this is also done. After performing all the XOR operation, we have a number in the variable result that is only occurred once. So we will return that variable, return result. So let me explain this code again. The first line initializes a variable named as result and we initialize it with 0. Next in the for loop, this is a for loop. It starts a loop that iterates over each number num in the input list. Next I have declared this line. I have written this line. This basically performs the XOR operation between the number from the list and the result variable. First we have 0, then if then performing the XOR operation, another number will be in the result, and so on the iterations will be goes on. Next I will return the result because in the end we have the number that is only in the list and that is only in the result variable and that is only occurred once. So let's run this code and see. Okay, we have an error here. Let's see. Here I have a make a mistake. I have to write num. Okay, so our cases are accepted. So we can now submit the code. And our solution is also accepted. And that's it. We have explored how to solve the single number problem using the XOR operator in Dart, and we also have learned how we can use hash set, which is not preferable in this case because we do not want because we do not have to use an extra space. So the approach with XOR operator is more preferable than using a hash set.